Hello, my name is Andrew Collins and I'm a Telly Addict. I'm going to break all my own rules this week and review something that isn't a television programme. It's a way of life.
They look lovely.
They do look nice, don't they?
They do.
And so beautifully presented.
Exactly.
The Great British Bake Off, which began in 2010 as a BBC Two cake competition with an average of 2.8 million viewers, has grown into a BBC One cake competition with an average of 12.3 million viewers, and it's bigger than all of us. To review it in the conventional manner would be futile. I may as well review Air.
Coming down the drive, you could just see the tips of the tent. I thought, my goodness, it's real, it's there.
The most famous marquee in Britain, pitched since Series 4 in the grounds of Welford Park in Berkshire, has become a kind of secular carbohydrate mecca for viewers of a certain temperament. Like Brigadoon, it only exists for 10 weeks a year and then is gone. But what intrigues and niceties go on there?
12 new bakers. I'm expecting the unexpected.
No, Mary, it's the expected we expect. It's why we expectantly tune in, and it's why, I expect, the BBC haven't messed with the format. Make 3 cakes, be nice, get them judged, don't be the worst baker.
Guess who didn't put the right amount of sugar in? We're going to have to make a cake again.
That's very dense.
Doing the sponges again, I'm going to start again.
I'm going to go again.
That's quite a lot of people starting sponges again, isn't it?
Apart from the mass Genovese sponge failure, no scandals in the first episode, which is in any case traditionally spent trying to remember the names of all 12 of the bakers, and in my case, incorrectly predicting the winner, which this year will be, it won't be, the super cool 30-year-old Selassie, who's something in the city.
That's it. I just enjoy it. So
What's your day job?
I work in client services for a financial institution.
So banking, kind of.
It can be demanding, and obviously in a moment's notice something could go really bad and everyone's...
Like a global financial collapse.
Yeah.
See everybody? Global financial collapse.
Can I just say, I rate Selassie highly. Also, Perkins was on top form in the Drizzle Cake Challenge.
OK, bakers, that's 1 hour to make your drizz the shiz. 1 hour!
By the way, I gracefully accept that some people don't love the Bake Off, or the fifth form antics of Mel and Sue, or the increasingly scripted repartee of Paul and Mary.
We don't do that in the south here.
But if that's the case, I can't help you. Listen, I didn't even see its beauty until Series 3, but once I'd let it into my heart, I became an evangelist for its self-raising escapism, as the world edges ever closer to some kind of global showdown. To deny the simple pleasures of cake making will be to let the terrorists win.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
If you're still not convinced of its genteel appeal, I've got just the cookery show for you.
You're the best home cooks in the country.
It's a pleasure to say welcome to the competition.
This is the day that you've been waiting for. Come on! The competition that will change your life forever.
When you thought Greg Wallace was loud, MasterChef Australia, running since 2009 on Network 10, shown here on W, is just like MasterChef UK, but if it was on performance-enhancing pea puree.
The greatest chef.
Fuck a bit white.
Oh my God.
You want some advice? Keep it simple.
Yes, Marco! Yes, Marco!
From the fat duck, Heston Blumenthal.
Probably the best day of my life.
It's either going to have to look really realistic or make it more abstract.
And the domestic goddess herself.
The one and only Nigella Lawson.
I'm exhausted, and it hasn't even started yet. I know Australia's a foreign country, and they don't do things diffidently there. But all this screaming and shouting and applauding and crying is like having your eyes and ears vacuum-packed in a sous vide.
Yes, 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 yes!
Everything about it is pumped up. It's even held in an aircraft hangar.
Are you ready?
We're still only 16 minutes into the first show, and I need a breather of about, 24 hours before I can watch the next part. Can I just...
Val lives in Somerset. She's a retired headmistress, grandmother, keep fit fanatic, and Ed Sheeran fan.
That's better. Right, the summer holidays are almost over. It's time for the terrestrial channels to start scheduling dramas they're actually confident about. Don't worry, that's not a spoiler. The double murder happens right at the beginning, and we're off with a frenetic four-parter set in the Scottish Highlands from the two dark horses who wrote The Missing, which was a surprising, subtle, narratively fleet-footed mystery that earned its forthcoming second series. Whereas this...
Helicopters aren't coming out in the storm, and the ambulance says it'll be several hours. The roads are all flooded, apparently, all over. This is useless.
No, it's not useless exactly, just melodramatic. More like MasterChef Australia than MasterChef UK. With most of the first episode taking place in a storm straight out of a 1930s horror movie, it starts in a state of gothic hysteria and has nowhere else to go.
That's him. What are you talking about? That man's in our house.
They've assembled a terrific cast. John Lynch, Juliet Stevenson, Joanna Van Der Ham, Julie Graham, and people who don't begin with J. But what looked like it would be a drama about agonising familial grief laid on so much extra jeopardy it lost its foothold in reality. People started saying things like,
"What are you saying?"
I'm not saying anything.
Except everybody was saying anything. They were saying what needed saying in order to set up everybody else to be a possible suspect for the 3 remaining episodes. After The Missing, and sorry to keep going on about The Missing, it felt rather schematic.
One of us did this. One of us. Right here.
Yeah, I'll leave them to it, I think, and wait for the return of The Missing. Now, just when he thought he was out, they pulled him back in.
So you thought that I would now travel to London, to Whitechapel, and challenge the care and rigour with which my friend has prosecuted this case? Forgive me, Miss Gorham, but that is a leap of faith based on no other logic but your own.
Matthew McFadden's retired Inspector Reed looking as sunny as we've ever seen him look since Ripper Street began back in 2012, when the BBC thought it worth funding. At the beginning of Series 4, financed by Amazon Prime, where it's been available since January, it's 1897 and Whitechapel Nick is future-proofing for the 20th century.
Mr. Reed's files were photographed and their size then shrunk by a ratio of 160 to 1. We now add to them daily. Each and every reported villainy read here.
Imagine a Stanhope, but of more applicable function. What do you call it, Inspector?
It is the micro reader.
Jerome Flynn's careworn Detective Inspector Drake, who took a showgirl for his wife, now runs H Division, but overseen by the new, much younger Assistant Commissioner played by Killian Scott from RTE crime saga Love Hate, while Adam Rothenberg's ex-Pinkerton Soak, understandably distracted by his wife being on death row, still functions as the station's forensic expert.
There is little by which to place him. Partly he is of South Asian origin.
Well, that's key idea, Drake.
I thought at first Lascar, but his hands. There's no callousing from the sea work. His nails are well kept, unbroken.
The place has scrubbed up nicely, hasn't it? Luckily, the crimes are still dirty and the resonances with the modern world still resonant.
We watch, sir. We look.
Well, look harder. He and his moon-faced friends. There are extreme beliefs amongst them, and extreme beliefs beget extreme action, Inspector. We must put an end to this Muslim Patriotic League.
See? I adore Ripper Street. You can probably tell by the breathless way I micro-read the shifting details of its milieu. Through precise acting and fruity dialogue from creator Richard Warlow and his trustees, it breathes, which it looked like it might stop doing when the BBC cancelled it, citing the size of its hat budget. But it's back for at least 2 more series, and we, and the character actors of these isles, should give thanks.
Do you accuse us of murder? Yes, Mr. T. Do you?
No, I say only that this wharfinger has found a floater on the night tide, sought to dig it downriver and land it here and see these men go workless come sunrise.
They even slipped in a clear nod to the Bake Off. Your montage of Zen comes from the Bake Off, and it features a pheasant. It's that close to being a Partridge moment.
Mary and Paul must now decide who will be our first star baker and who will be the first to be heading home.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for the latest Telly Addict and more videos from UK TV. You can also check out last week's episode and the one before that. See you next week.